The issues before us are the reality of the horror of people's lives. The member for Oxford spoke earlier and talked about the pain of those that were killed on October the 7th, the pain of those in a church, the pain that the relatives of those being killed in Gaza, and the continuing destruction of the lives of almost 30,000 people in Gaza since this conflict began, and the use of unbelievable levels of ordnance in destroying Gaza. Carpet bombing of the whole place. 29,000 bombs have been dropped on Gaza by the Israeli forces. By comparison, the US only dropped 4,000 bombs on Iraq during 5 years of that particular conflict. What we're seeing is the total destruction of society, life and hope in Gaza. I keep meeting Palestinian people who tell me how many of their relatives have been killed in Gaza. Our good friend Hussam Zumlot, the Palestinian ambassador, has lost 100 members of his wider family in this conflict. I met a man going through unbelievable trauma, Wael, in Bristol 2 weeks ago, who's lost 17 immediate members of his family. But Israel's lack of support or recognition for international law goes back a long way. The Fourth Geneva Convention has found them wanting on so many cases of the power of an occupying force. The International Court of Justice, and I attended the hearing in The Hague, listened very carefully to the South African application and effectively demanded an immediate ceasefire. It has not happened. And when this happened, this whole thing kicked off. Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the UN, said this didn't come from nowhere. It comes from decades of the encirclement of Gaza. It comes from the occupation of the West Bank. It comes from a settlement policy. It comes from the inability of Palestinian people to be able to live their lives in peace. A ceasefire now is absolutely essential. And it's got to go on to end the occupation. It's got to go on to end the settlement policy. It's got to go on to recognise the plight of those thousands of Palestinian refugees living in Jordan, Syria, Libya and so many other places all around the world. UNRWA has been defunded. We are sending arms, not aid. We should be sending all the support we can. The best support we can give is to stop the arms trade with Israel, end the battle in Gaza at the moment and bring about peace and hope for the Palestinian people.